Good morning to all of you. Don't joke with your eye. Don't limit yourself to your academic work. Your rescue is in your own hands. Over 60 years ago, a gentleman was born into a very poor family. His parents were very smart in terms of producing children. So he had 9 siblings, but his parents were very poor. So after completing his middle school education, now equivalent to junior high school, he couldn't continue to the secondary school. He thought at that moment there was no hope. That was the moment of hopelessness. And so he branched that moment the moment of being pessimistic. There was no hope. His father called him one day and told him, Kwaku, I would have been the proudest father to have my son attend the secondary school as a police sergeant. But the means is not there. But you know, all is not lost. The teacher training college can offer you an opportunity, because there you will not pay school fees. But Kwaku told his father, I will never be a teacher. The reason being simple. He had never seen any of his teachers owning a bicycle tie. So he didn't want to be a teacher. So instead of going to the teacher training college, Kwaku, as young as he was, decided to become a houseboy. So he became a houseboy of a manager of an oil company, now called Goil, then called Ajib. One day his manager came back from trek and called him, hey Kwaku, when there's hopelessness, your name is prefixed with hey. Hey Kwaku, come here. Do you know how to write? Kwaku said, yes, sir. Then he had some figures written on some crumpled pieces of paper and asked Kwaku to transfer all those figures onto a foolscap sheet. Kwaku did it. Then the manager, hey Kwaku, is this your handwriting? Where is your father? And that was a changing moment. The manager went to see Kwaku's father and encouraged him that Kwaku had a future, had prospects, so he should send him, encourage him to go to the secondary school. That his father told the manager in Akan, it is difficult for a poor man's father, a child, to recognize the degree of the poor father's love. But went on to tell the manager, I want Kwaku to go to the teacher training college. So the manager came and called Kwaku, gave models, J.B. Dankwa, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and he himself. They all started as a teacher. So this manager encouraged Kwaku to go to the teacher training college. Out of respect and shy, Kwaku agreed to go to the teacher training college. He went and wrote the entrance exams. But then when Kwaku was moving around, he heard about a community health program. And Kwaku thought to go to the teacher training college, then community health program will be best. So he sneaked and bought the form himself and wrote the exams. And when the result came, Kwaku had been admitted to the community health and then the teacher training. So choice was a challenge. He went to see his father and told him, thinking his father would be he'll be happier with the community health. But his father told him, Kwaku, look at me. I couldn't move beyond the middle school. And because of that, I'm stuck in my work. I can't move up. With your qualification, if you go to the community health, the highest, the farthest you can go is to become a mortuary man. This kept Kwaku, so Kwaku went to the teacher training college. Then when he went there, he got inspiration counsel from his principal, who encouraged him to study privately and write the GCE O-level, now equivalent to WASI. Kwaku wrote it, and when the result came, Kwaku had the minimum grade, including credit 6 for mathematics, which he hated so much. With those credits, Kwaku was empowered. He was encouraged to pursue further. So privately, he wrote a GCE A-level, got aggregate 15, which could not send him anywhere. He tried again, got aggregate 14. Then there was a window. Kwaku capitalized on that and entered the University of Cape Coast. There, the optimism, the hope came up. And one of the things that made Kwaku so hopeful was that he was associated with a hall called the Gentleman's Hall, the Casford. And when there was election for students' presidency, Kwaku opted himself out, and Kwaku won massively. So Kwaku asked himself, if without secondary school education, I could contest among people who had attended Infantipim and others and win over them, then there's hope for me. I can move ahead. So Kwaku focused on his studies, knowing his background, because he knew he didn't have a secondary school education, and he was in the class with people who had secondary school mates. And so whilst they were playing, Kwaku would use his playtime for studies. So Kwaku had to combine time management, his student leadership work, and his studies. He was very particular, not wasting time. Then opportunities came up. Kwaku got admission to the University of Cambridge after contesting to offer to take an MPhil program. He did. And he caught the eyes of his lecturers. His lecturers encouraged him. He moved on to do the PhD. And on completion, his lecturers encouraged him to stay back and do a postdoctoral fellowship. Then he was interviewed how he could make it within that period, because he completed on schedule. And he said, it is the Lord. Then the interviewer said, it is not the Lord, it is you. Tell us how you made it. And I remembered that I was counseled to persevere, and that perseverance yields success. My father also told me to humble myself. He said, humility will send you places where money could not send you. So these two things encouraged me. And when I finished, they wanted to retain me there. But my wife discouraged me. He told me, you have not come here yourself. It's the Lord who opened the chance for you. You will be a role model to people. You will share your experience with people who may also find themselves in that situation. So please, let's go back. If you refuse to go back, I will go back with our children. And the woman I love so much, I couldn't leave behind. And I came back, and that led me to the fulfillment stage. And when I came back, now, instead of being called, hey, they called me professor. Instead of being called, hey, I was called a Pro-Vice Chancellor. Instead of being called, hey, Kwaku, I was called the Provost of College of Distance Education. Instead of being called, hey, Kwaku, I was called the Director of the Institute for Educational Planning and Administration. Instead of being called, hey, I was introduced as a Professor of Educational Leadership. So for your message, education makes a difference. But you need perseverance, you need time management, you need focus. Education makes a difference. Thank you.